Om Shanti. Om Shanti. Om Shanti. Om Prem. Om Prem. Om Anand. Om Anand. It is the time, final time. What it is that we need to prepare. Time itself is ready, time never stops. Time continues to move. Return journey. What is the meaning of return journey? Preparation. Yesterday we spoke about the check in everything. Have we really, before we go, the last thing is unlimited disinterest from this old world. This is the first step, and this is the last as well. From the old world, letting go the old which we have hold on to for a long time. Now it is a time of checking. Final moment when you travel back or you travel anywhere, you check that you have received, you have a ticket and passport because of traveling in a new place now, return home, but it is home. And yet, why it is taking so much time to become detached from the old world? So check where is still my attachment that can pull me back or make me miss my opportunity to go with self-respect. What it is, we have to be ready that can I go with self-respect? The checking. And self-respect, it means that I pass with honor. I don't go with repentance. I do not return with old sanskaras because yesterday we stopped at that we have to check in security. Some things are which are not allowed to go. Five elements. Anyway, we know that this body will leave. If not, then time, natural calamities, final scene that Baba had seen at the time of the beginning. The world is transforming, cleansing itself with natural calamities. To go easily without suffering, not like the time Baba gives the example of Hiroshima, Nagasaki, Japan, that people have been suffering afterwards, even with one atom. And now it has been prepared. Many times we hear in Baba's Murli that science has also improved. And now it is not on one side, it is atomic energy, which is very dangerous, and at the same time, we will be flying just with one breath and leave and return. So the nature will take care of these 5 elements which belong to the matter. It will be dissolved in that. And very subtle things are actually connected in that as well. A philosophy relationship with matter. Some, according to some, why there are these natural calamities, or Baba says, destruction and blessing. This transformation is a blessing. So, some souls in some culture, it is that they have this deep philosophy or faith or ritual, tradition after tradition, that the body must be cremated. The soul left the body anyway, but it must be cremated. Their will is fire. So Baba said in the end, 5 elements will dance together. Earthquake, fire, heavy rain. So natural calamities has some subtle philosophy in this, time and also nature. Those who have this feeling that body must be buried in a grave under the earth. We are now living on earth, walking on earth. A body should be buried in a grave. Earthquakes, what they do? They do natural, let the body goes in the grave underneath. Some believe that even if it is buried, but the ashes must go through the water, it should be thrown in the water. So because on one side, this atomic final scene of returning home, it would not be of actually physical suffering with atomic energy, but in fact it would be just you take a breath and then you go, because atom bombs are filled with poison. You breathe and you go. And body matter takes care of the body. It takes back to clean whatever poisonous energy is there. So heavy rain, it has to be clean, purified. So in the end scene, there would be on one side preparation that in different rehearsal that nature, rehearsal is taking place. So in that rehearsal of 5 elements, am I really detached from my body or worried? And is not with death, not with fear, but we have learned to die alive. So am I so detached that I am watching the scene of disaster, but I am totally detached from that, detached from my worldly relations, detached from my worldly belongings, because the last preparation is Nashto Moha Smriti Labdha, that is conqueror of attachment and embodiment of remembrance. Smriti means awareness, remembrance, pure consciousness of who I am and who do I belong to. And before that also there would be such scenes, fearsome scenes, that like those who are in anger when seeing the situations, Baba says that they will come, because violence has also through atomic energy, through civil war, but also with this mad mind of anger. And so people will come, and at that time, are you so detached that your anger cool downs, your coolness makes them see that you are not in the body either? They don't attack you. This is preparation beforehand, that I am totally a yogi that has no pull or fear of anything, and while being in the body, I am bodiless. Incorporeal soul has to go, but I have to become incorporeal while being in the body. So the last scene of natural calamities and also this dangerous anger in human beings will try to, because there is dissatisfaction and fear always attacks others like a dog. And so when you are afraid of dog will come and bite you. In the same way, those who are with great anger, dissatisfaction, come, and is my stage so, as Baba says, that you are so cool, an embodiment of coolness, Shitala Devi, that their anger cool downs your pure, cool energy, detached energy, cools down them as well. So can I cool down other people's voices with my pure vibrations of purity, natural mercy, love, detachment, from my worldly things and my worldly thoughts even. I'm not thinking of, there's no fear at all, because have I collected so much power of truth in me, or realized that in the end Baba has come to take me home. These vices or situations are not remembered, but only my feeling is Baba has come in front of me, and that my scene of this angelic consciousness is cooling down the fear and anger of others as well. So you become the embodiment of vision. But for that it is practice at this time. That have I made for a long time my heart temple of divine virtues, my heart a temple. At this time, when I have put the statues, not statues, but real divine virtues, images, that I become the embodiment of divine virtues. Not that a picture, a divine virtue itself is not a separate thing. Divine virtue exists in my personality, which is if I am using for a long period of time, in the end, that whoever comes in front of you, or whenever you look at you and or you behave with others, you communicate with others, it's not you, but your spirituality, our purity, our divinity, our self-respect, our mercy and pure love. That is, they are having the divine virtues, are talking to them and giving drishti to them. And the end preparation is that we become the embodiment of divine vision, and for that, service of my own mind. Have I learned to serve myself? That is, I am focusing and I am purifying my mind and liberating my mind from any old influences of vices or influence of the nature of other people. Months of service Baba speaking about. Service through the mind. So is this mind so lost in Baba's love? Is my mind really enjoying that divine company of Baba? Because Baba says, I have come to take you home. But you can go only when you are with the full quality. Just like last day, Baba spoke about body-less, vice-less, ego-less. So preparation for a long time is actually the embodiment of being end time. Not that in the end I prepare. You pack up everything, not when you are you are actually going to sit in the plane, you pack up everything beforehand. So, godly powers and divine powers, I am becoming the embodiment of that. Preparation is needed beforehand for the end time. At the end you don't prepare. End is end. It will happen suddenly. So this is why the slogan of ever ready. And I'm not preparing ready, but ever ready. So what does it mean? That packing power to pack up is for a long period of time. Power to let go for a long period of time. Power to keep the heart clean for a long period of time. So my feelings are pure. My heart is happy that I am now returning home. At last the day has come I was waiting for. We have been asking, when is the final day? When is the final moment? Now is the final moment. If suddenly I have to go now, checking, can anything pull me? Or I am going with great joy. So my sanskaras on one side, it's balanced. On one side total detached, and other side total full. This balance becomes the wings. The final stage, Baba says that you are, angels will be flying and giving inspiration to others as well. Not all will reach in India. Of course, that final time, Baba says, suddenly will happen and you will get the inspiration. This is the last plane to go to Madhuban, to the land of blessings, but not all will be able to reach. Then Baba says that your stage should be also such that you angels, as it has been shown on the mountains giving vision, angels means you are totally detached, the light, free, and inspiring others by being a detached observer. At that time, active actor consciousness is not there. Detached observer because you have absorbed Baba's qualities which makes you detached. You are satisfied with what Baba is giving, and it becomes the embodiment. I am becoming the embodiment of qualities, godly powers. And that is in the body, matter is anyway going. It has to go. The body I have to leave. So what I am carrying this once again the original powers that I came with. I came with purity, peace, love, happiness, and truth. Were my natural nature. And then I'm going home bodiless, but in this seed, I, the soul, all godly powers are the potential in me. So I have to check whether the seed is ready, totally detached, or I am still attached. When the detachment and my stage is ripe, completely ripe thing becomes detached from the seed. For example, mango, here also you have mangoes, and you would have seen or experienced when the mango or any fruit actually, when it is unripe, you try to cut it from and separate it from the seed. Mango, core of the mango cannot be separated. You can of course make pickle, you can make some kind of thing from it, but it has not sweetness, it is sour, but has no power to become detachment, more possessive. So if I am still possessive to my any old sanskaras, so my preparation to become more soft, sweet, ready to let go, or still there is some kind of not only just repentance of myself, but also some kind of sorrow that I had taken. I need to check, this will not go with me. I cannot take in the golden age any trace of sorrow or repentance or any kind of reaction. Have I forgiven everything and forgotten? It is let go. Unlimited disinterest and let go. Or I'm holding on to something. Now holding on to my own, like mango's core is holding on to its own pulp. But the more it gets the sun power, it is becoming ripe, it is becoming sweet, it is becoming soft. So is my nature that I am reaching my stage of so soft heart, pure heart, divine heart. At that time, in the end, it's not a question of action. Final thing that I take with me is my sanskaras. So what kind of sanskar still it is there that is not bringing the power to let go? Attachment or some kind, sometime even the hatred, sometime reactions. So I cannot forgive myself or I cannot forgive others. Why cannot I forgive others? Because I have not learned from that situation that this was a test in order to make me aware which power I need to use at the right time. So, to prepare for the end scene, it means my even leaving this body is also end scene. When destruction date is not fixed, my body's death is also not fixed. But whole time, all going together, do I go with this that I am the embodiment of natural forgiveness without any even thought or conscious that I have to forgive. And that is only when I have this divine sanskaras of an angel and deity, I give and forget. Here I remember a story of a holy man. It's a good moral actually, a good example of letting go or not, egolessness. One Mahatma, sadhu, was sitting on a water flow, near the water flow, water fountain, and other people were also therefore. There he saw that a scorpion fell in water. He immediately took this scorpion out. Natural scorpion will bite him. It is natural nature of it. So it bit him. So he gently put him aside and move away from there without any reaction to it happily. He came back. This scorpion again scrolled and fell in water. He took it another time out and it bit him again. It happened 3 times. So people, those who were around, they saw Mahatma Ji, holy man, what are you doing? Why don't you kill the scorpion so that it doesn't sting others also? He says, no, this is my teacher, my guru. How can be the scorpion your guru? And what teaching is teaching? Do you understand the language of the scorpion? Say yes. Scorpion doesn't teach, but it's a question of learning. I learned 3 lessons from it. So they said, please tell us which 3 lessons you learned. He said, the first lesson I learned that I did not have even this thought that I am saving it, saving the scorpion from drowning. When my logic says that he can swim away, but I realize my consciousness has become so natural that in human being or any insect, I see just to save. That mercy, love, without thinking mercy, love or saving, it acts automatically. So I was internally proud of what my consciousness, which level it has reached, where there's no discrimination, but consciousness is helping and benevolence. No matter whether it is insect or whether it is scorpion or whether it is human being, instantly saves. So have I served on that level that my consciousness is so to serve without any reaction but action natural. So first lesson I learned that my level of consciousness reached the level of totally beyond of thinking, but doing this natural act. The second, what was the second lesson you learned? The second lesson I learned that forgive those who have caused you sorrow. He says, good thing is done. You do good with those who give you happiness. This one bit me, but I don't have to take revenge of this. But I forgive. So I can still have the same feeling of mercy and love. The third thing is forgive. Third lesson is forgive and forget. People said it's very easy according to your this practice of that you have forgiven, but certainly you won't forget that this one has bitten you. He says, no, I have forgotten. It is possible. Is it possible to forget? He says, yes. What is the secret that one can forget? He says, because sorrow that came, that this scorpion bit me, I instantly take this poisonous sting out. That's why I went into this bush and bring some herb and put that herb rub on me, and I took this poisonous out from me, from my hand. And because the sorrow did not remain in me, I realized what is the level of my consciousness. Even at the time, those who have been defaming me, Baba says, those who defame you are your friends. So is my consciousness that as well, that I am bodiless, but I am voiceless as well. In other words, this voice of hatred or voice of fear or voice of rejection, not, but it is naturally protection. But what was the main thing is to remove sorrow from your heart, because I am the one who is the bestower of happiness, giver of happiness to others. So is my stage like this, that I stay in bliss and I am able to bless and give blessing and receive blessing. I'm preparing myself for that. And preparation, that is possible only when I see Baba's virtues. Baba is saying in the end, from long time, give blessings and receive blessing, give blessing and blessing. So is there that heart reached, always not blessed like this, may you bless. It is from the heart with the blissful feeling. And that is possible only when you learn to remain detached and happy in every situation, and learn and lesson of in any situation has help you to move forward. You are not going back. You are moving forward, progressing. So we are reaching that the level of bestower of blessings only when there is pure love and godly quality of mercy and forgiveness. So is there anything still I have not actually still directly or indirectly keeping? So final preparation, final time, there is atomic energy, there is final time of my whole story coming in front of me. It is not that Dharamraj outside. My own pure consciousness is my judge. That is this. At that time is my consciousness so clear that I am so detached and at the same time so merciful to myself as well, that I fly with great bliss. I fly free from bondage and free from burden. This is the no bondage or no burden. Free from bondage means you are an angel. And burden also, with the burden you cannot fly. With the bondage you cannot fly. So all different types of bondage of the mind, bondage of any kind of karmic account with others, bondage of any kind of repentance, bondage of new creation of karmic account that I have created now, and heaviness of waste thoughts. Baba says waste thoughts are actually anything waste, it is viceful also, vikarma. Waste thought is also vice because it's rubbish, and rubbish is heavy. So my final time, any waste thought is coming in my mind, and it's possible only checking for a long period of time. I am checking that my thoughts are with the state of manmana bhav. I am enjoying communication or conversation with Baba. Final stage is my mind, intellect and sanskaras. All three are on its perfect divine level of silence, sweetness and pure good wishes for myself and for others. Pure mind, divine mind, so there's no trace of any waste thoughts, weak thought, unnecessary thoughts, because that also makes us heavy and also creates a bondage which will pull me. So mind is practice of instantly Baba coming in the mind. Instantly the joy what I have received, that coming in my mind. Not what others are giving, but what I have received. I am cool, like today Baba said, your coolness is making this fire which is burning with lust cool down like rain cools down the earth. So I have actually cooled down my sense organs along with my mind, with my egolessness, with my humility, with my natural detached stage. So these three mantra, in other words, bodiless. So yesterday we spoke about bodiless means that this 5 elements property is not influencing me. Only then I am becoming virtue and viceless. Because vices are filled in the body, because of body consciousness, I am attracted to each other. I cannot conquer desire. I am pulled to touch someone's hand, or I have subtle interest to have more company of one who I like it, or I am influenced by others. These are the subtle bondages. Have I made myself free from that? And I am so intoxicated, not with ego, but so lost in this joyful feeling that I am dancing with Baba. I am holding Baba's hand. I am merged in Baba's eyes. I am seated on Baba's heart throne. So Baba's blessings are more dancing in me rather than the dance of the whole, my different last 63 births that I have impression I have kept, or perhaps enjoyment I felt for that. So bodilessness from matter consciousness and bodilessness also from the practical action of not having ego of I have improved more, I have really, intoxication is important, but ego is enemy. Self-respect is important, but comparison with others, it's a negativity. So my energy of my mind is also clean, pure, it's temple, and my intellect is yoga with Baba, and anything comes, I instantly ability to change it into positivity. So I make Gyan into science. What is meaning? Gyan, I am able to be Gyan. Knowledge, I have experimented in many different ways, and I can detach as a observe wrong or right, harmful and blissful, attainment or loss, and instantly I am able to keep my intellect connected with Baba and pull back to Baba. So then I am really flying. So bodiless, voiceless, egoless. But it is only when I am really have been practicing for a long period of time of nimit, instrument, humble, and also nirmal, means clean heart, divine intellect, and my original, eternal, godly sanskars or divine sanskars. And time, these three are my friends. Rest, no one is my friend and no one is my enemy. Because both friend can also pull me and enemy can also pull me. But I am beyond from that as well. Enemy changed into friends, so no one my enemy. So I become, it means, Baba, I feel that now for this time I am walking holding Baba's hand. I am seated in Baba's heart, on Baba's heart throne. In my eyes, Baba is sitting. I am merged in Baba's eyes. Baba is merged my eyes. Final preparation is this. At the end time, my mind, intellect and sanskaras are with Brahmin, angel and deity consciousness, deity feelings, and at the same time from this world I am merciful, loveful, but I don't have to think I am merciful, loveful. It works automatically. Don't have to think and do, but doing it naturally. So am I in this way completely free from waste? Or whatever is being Baba is doing through me, I be in est stage. In other words, three blessings. Bodiless, viceless means virtuous. Viceless means not only lust, anger, greed, attachment, but jealousy, hatred, competition, comparison, proving myself I am right, or making others think rejection. All these kind of subtle things are viceless, and also it means no weakness or defects remain. So karmatit stage it is called, that my own action of my mind, intellect and sanskaras have become of that level. If not, then certainly I will go in the end anyway. Natural calamities will take me. Time will take me, but what I am taking with me? So, what I am taking with me, this divine godly sanskaras with me, which is natural in the seed. The mango is ripe, you throw it in the rubbish, it will grow a tree again. Quality of the seed. So, working on the seed to make, protecting it, that it has been safe from eating and by any insect or any effect or any defect. Free from my own defects and free from the effect of defects of others. So I'm going so clean. This is my final preparation. So how much I have reached to that. This is, I have to check myself again and again. Check in. that I'm ready for an end, or I go without checking and I come then in the end of Silver Age. If I have not checked and check out now, and I have not checked in my golden age luggage insurance for the golden age, same word, check in, check out, it's the balance. And then naturally I'm going with self-respect, with intoxication, flying like an angel's fly. Or Baba is taking me in his eye, on his eyelids. Means I'm going very light and easy. Light and lightness. Happy and blissful stage. Truth and powerful stage. Fearless, viceless, egoless. Om Shanti.